Osanana Jimi Gazetai ni Makenai love comedy. Okay, I think I pronounced that correctly. It's gonna be a rom-com that's dropping tomorrow. If I upload this video but in time. Basically, it's gonna be the rom-com for this year's spring season, and now I'm just gonna quickly talk about it before it drops. But most of what I'm gonna say is based off the source material. I read at least the English translated thing, so I read around like 14 chapters of the manga and 2 volumes of the light novel. So yes, of course, the anime itself will probably be pretty different, but I just want to quickly talk about a few things of this anime straight up, what we have gotten. Honestly, with a title like that, it could go so many ways. Maybe the other guy is the childhood friend, and the rom-com is about the 2 guys, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe all of the characters are childhood friends, just like Nisekoi. Or you know, maybe the childhood friend is actually battling against cancer, and after so many years of turmoil and suffering, she struggles and she finally overcomes it. And honestly, good on her. Good on her. So the English title is basically the rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. Just start with the designs that have been revealed to us. Here you go. To me personally, they feel quite generic. They are drawn well, but the designs themselves feel very simple, very basic. And you can kind of tell who is who in this dynamic already. It kind of all falls into place. It doesn't leave much to your imagination. You got the main character at the most left. If you couldn't tell it was the main character, I don't know what to say. Character beside him is definitely the childhood friend, and the character beside her is the love romance rival, black hair, you know how it is. Character beside her is the lolly. For some reason, they have to have a lolly, and the character beside her is the best friend of the main character. You see, you kind of really know. At least if you watch a few, like, you just need to watch 1 or 2 rom-coms, and it kind of falls in place. And straight up, it feels honestly kind of like bootlegs. Main character feels like a bootleg Hachiman. Childhood friend looks like a bootleg Yui Gahama. Black hair feels like a bootleg Yukino, or like closer to the bunny girl senpai. Yeah, I'm fine with simple designs, but the character designs really feel too generic for me to appreciate. Remember there was this time period where a lot of light novels had this really long names and like really weird titles. Straight off my head, I can remember there was this one isekai, you know, the guy dies and transports to a fantasy world where he becomes a hot springs. Yeah, there were a lot. There was a big trend going on, kind of like Danmachi, Oegaru, even Oegaru. We call them by their shorter names, but their real title is super long. And this rom-com kind of feels like it's going that direction. Now the thing with these long, weird titles is when you hear about them, yeah, you're gonna read it. But if the content inside is not good, you probably drop it pretty early on. So what are my personal opinions on the things I've read so far? Personally, I think it's quite boring. So the main plot twist, I'll go through some spoilers. I'll just summarize what I remember. Turns out black hair, which is kind of like the student that the main character has a crush on, actually has a crush back on him. But then when he was going to confess to her, she had a so-and-so boyfriend, so he was like sad. He worked with a childhood friend. Then when he came to another confession time, he actually confessed to the childhood friend instead, but the childhood friend rejected him. And yeah, that's kind of like what I remember. I guess it's interesting-ish, but to me it was like I kind of saw it coming already. But even though I don't think the source material is that interesting, I do feel that the anime adaptation will actually be pretty decent, at least based on what we see so far. The PV looks beautiful, and the voice actresses and voice actors for the main duo, trio kind of thing, they're big names. And funny enough, one of them voices Iroha, because I was talking about how they all got bootlegs and stuff. Yeah, Sakura Ayane, she voices Iroha. That's behind it, Doga Kabo. They produce some really good shows, and they know how to make slice of life / kind of romance shows work. So I think the show itself will be pretty decent. And even before the show is released, there are a lot of people that are excited for the show. So will I watch it? Maybe I'll watch the first 2 episodes and see how it is. But yeah.